The hardest working royal often makes the best dressed women in the world lists. Really? Is that like her making the person of the year list and probably the top of that list in 2024? How? Why? For what? Disappearing? It's not just a masterclass in modern day royal dressing. Elegant, glamorous, understated. Well, yes, if you pick and choose the outfits in the photographs, you can make a case for that. But I propose that there are a whole other set of Kate and Carol styled outfits that look like they are straight from American chain, The Dress Barn, but provides a level of comfort that resonates with the public. It strikes, yes, I think that 4 and 5-inch heels with pointy toes are the pinnacle of comfort and style. That seems really reasonable for any mom of 3, right? Anyone who's a working woman to go from car service to reception and be out in an hour and a half. Yeah, sure, you can wear a heel that high. The pinnacle of comfort. Wow, right? It strikes a savvy balance between high and low and feels accessible to the rest of us mere mortals. Glazing. Can we stop? Glazing this woman, the daughter of a stewardess and a failed businessman, decided to marry up after getting a scholarship to private school, not helping any other scholarship students get scholarships or become socially mobile like herself and Pippa and her little brother James. Nope. Amnesia when it comes to that, but we should care about her outfits. In the past week alone, Kate's impressed royal watchers in an 89.99-pound Zara dress, which she's already worn several times in previous years, before donning a designer ensemble comprising of a Petrov chocolate brown blazer and tailored Max Mara trousers. The plaid. The conservative cuts. The oversized chocolate blazer that feels very 90s. How are the Max Mara trousers tailored if they're dragging the ground and covering up the shoe? They should at least break on the vamp, if there's a tailor involved. But if your budget has been cut, your budget for tailors, stylists, etc., yeah, any of us can throw on any old thing and get to the office, get to the meeting, spend more time making sure that our hair is flowy and down and blowing in the breeze like we're a Charlie's Angel. It hardly seems suited for outings where you're working with and walking with children. It gets in the way, right? An updo might seem more appropriate. A flat shoe, a low heel, something stretchy, something that might not trip you up on curbs and cracks in the sidewalk or door jams. But if the point is to get good photographs out of the day's outfit with glamorous hair, well, then that's a different orientation than getting the work done. When I work in schools with children, I never wear my hair down, not even a ponytail. No. Let me know if you do, if you wear your hair to your elbow and down when you work with small children. The decision to no longer shout about the royal wardrobe coincides with King Charles's decision to give Kate the ability to grant royal warrants. Here is this lie again. Ain't no way in the world. A royal seal of approval, if you will, onto her favorite brands, which is expected to result in a surge in sales. Is it going to result in a kickback to Kate Middleton or the Middleton family? Carol, probably her business manager on the low, right? Team Rocket! But for brands who often lend to the firm or sell garments to them at high discounts. Discounts? For what? Losing the constant boost of being named in Kate's daily wardrobe is a major hindrance. If you believe then people are gifting or discounting clothes and they're not going to make sure that they have coverage of that and tags on Instagram and in the media, you're dreaming. So why stop something that takes such little effort? Because probably there's going to be a lot less of it. If you're lending it, sure. But if they're expecting to be paid for purchases on behalf of Kate Middleton, I don't know. Rumor is there's a separation, maybe a divorce, and separate residences, and maybe, that mean man. Put a one in the chat if you married or are in a relationship with a mean man. All the money in the world for trips to Africa and Portugal to go hunting for weeks, helicopter here, helicopter there, but homegirl can't have her own tiara, her own personal collection of real jewelry, and can't have a budget for hair, makeup, and glam, right? It feels like things are being taken away from Kate. That's what it feels like. And it feels like this spin, it's very sus. Some have applauded the decision, but others ask, why does her fashion have to be seen as something without substance that takes away from the causes she's shouting about? There are no causes that she's shouting about. There is one report on the value of early years child development. It keeps getting cited. There keeps being meetings and events with outfits. There's a website, and that's it. Shouting about? Our girl barely speaks in public. And not for long, if at all. The reality is, whether she shares the details on her wardrobe or not, it won't stop the conversation around it. Sure, because of that huge press, public relations, and marketing team and budget around Kensington Palace. Right? Queen consort to be. Not queen regnant, not queen regent. Queen consort. Just like Camilla, you can cut down that title, but it is what it is. You are the companion to the reigning monarch to be, or reigning monarch currently, like Camilla the Stallion, aka La Usurpadora. You don't rule, you don't have say over anything, but, what is that movie by Jean Guillemot, Raise the Red Lantern? When your husband deigns to darken your door, that's the only thing you have any say or influence over. And articles in various papers are always talking about where wee Willie Wanker might be spending his leisure time instead, allegedly. Fashion is a powerful tool to draw attention to any cause, and in Kate's case, the 20 or so charities with which she is associated, what are they? Certainly benefit from her polished get-up and the press coverage it garners, because there's nothing else to cover. If I got permission to simply cover where Kate Middleton is on a daily basis, what country, what town, what house, that would be more to talk about than Kate's handful of appearances a year. Argue with me. I tell you that would be more intriguing. And if I got permission to do it about her and her husband, what? Have you ever seen the helicopter logs? And given the catastrophic state of the British fashion landscape, it is now more important than ever that the independent brands she wears, Edeline Lee, who, Amelia Wickstead, who, or Beulah London, to name but a few, get the royal push of sales they need to weather a storm of slowed down luxury economy and the impending threat of U.S. tariffs. Donald Trump, say it ain't so. If the concern is that the publicity around her latest high street steal might overshadow her charitable work, then one only has to look to her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana, who who attempted a similar strategy. Princess Diana did not attempt any kind of strategy. She was a very committed humanitarian before and after marriage, and was very serious about her personal style. Right? It's apples and oranges. That is her late mother-in-law, but you cannot compare Kate Middleton's charitable work with Princess Diana's. They are light years apart in quality, frequency, and sincerity. Diana said she didn't want to be known as a clothes horse, but as a workhorse. Ellery Lynn, curator of the Royal Ceremonial Dress Collection, told Vogue in 2017. That didn't pan out. Instead, it attracted more eyeballs the more public she got. And instead of revolting against it, she learned to harness the power her wardrobe held and to point the camera lenses exactly where she wanted them. 30 years on, although we love gushing over the picture of the revenge dress or her off-duty outfits, Diana is still feted for her charitable work. Indeed. Thanks to the internet, royal sleuths, and social media, what Kate wears will still come to light. Yes, because there are glorious, high-quality, professional photographer photos every time homegirl steps out in an outfit, and that's not an accident. It's not blurry pictures. It's not the farm shop body double. It's not, jigsaw Photoshop like some other photos from 2024. They are glorious, long lens, could not be shot with more expensive cameras. Cinematic quality. Gorgeous. And some of the outfits are fantastic. But some of the outfits are wah, wah, wah. Team Rocket specials. Brands have their own communication channels, and there are websites dedicated to identifying what any celebrity, including the Princess of Wales, wears, down to the socks. And so, one can only hope that the palace is, as well as all the other commendable work, what work, the Princess of Wales adds to her CV. CV? This girl had one job in her whole life. And now, she is a dilettante to the royal duties. Look at Princess Anne. Even Queen Elizabeth, as she was knocking on the door of eternity, was popping in and out of all sorts of public works and events. But this girl, whether it's one medical excuse or another, all alleged, very sus, and now that she's bounced back, there's a trickle of work. One event, one picture. Not more than 6 a month, I guarantee you. Is Prince Harry's victory against Rupert Murdoch's media empire, is it turning the Klieg-like focus of the toxic British media back onto Kate and William? Has William punished Kate for the antics of 2023 and 2024 by cutting her glam and wardrobe budget? One can further hope that bringing good business to the British fashion industry is just as much of an achievement worth noting in the eyes of the firm as all the other commendable work the Princess of Wales adds to her CV. As for the astute shoppers, there might be a 30-minute delay before her latest favorite dress will sell out. Good news for those with quick typing fingers, but it will still sell out. That's a given. Is it a given? Put a 1 in the chat if you have bought one dress based on the fact that Kate Middleton wore it. I know I'm not built like Kate Middleton. I'm not 5'9" and a $105. I wouldn't want to be. That's a very hard discipline to maintain. And it is very tradwife. It is very kept woman. It is very submissive, and it is very arduous, right? The amount of discipline let's call it, that it takes to maintain that whole aesthetic with the hair, the makeup, the wardrobe, the high heels. It's too much for someone who's trying to get work done and raise children, right? You would need a staff of 96 to even be able to pull that off as infrequently as Kate does. Now, let's keep watching this space. Are we going to see, we've seen less tiara wears, less good jewelry that's borrowed wears. We still have yet to see Kate Middleton gifted her own fine jewelry, tiara, and jewels, right? She got what she got access to when she got married, and she got to borrow things from that collection of jewelry that I think is still missing, has gone walkabout, and nobody has ever said whether they got that stuff back. But has the budget been cut? Is that why we're seeing what we're seeing? Is that why so many photos that are not airbrushed and photoshopped to the hilt, is that why more of those photos are trickling out and kind of telling a more realistic picture of what is going on with Princess Kate and the Wales marriage? Let me know what you think, stars.